Hi guys, it's Sarah from the Lonely Rose 9314, and today it's Wednesday. It's in Top 5 Wednesday, and it's so close to Halloween I could taste it. I have my nails ready for my costume, which is why I have blue nails on with a purple top, because I'm Bubbles for Halloween this year. Aka the lipstick. I was trying to go for the makeup look of Bubbles because I was gonna originally put on my costume. But then I remember my costume's not exactly finished yet, so I might as well not mess with it. Also, if you see this dye on the spot on my arm right here, no, it's not bruises, it's actually dye. I dyed my roommate's hair today because she's gonna be Buttercup, so that was a fun experience. But today is Top 5 Wednesday, and as always we have the top 5 recommendations for Halloween, which I'm a huge fan of Halloween and a huge fan of books, so this is fun. But I don't actually only have books here. I am actually gonna give you my top 5 books first for Halloween recommendations, and then I'm gonna be taking the movies that haven't exactly watched through yet. Like, I've watched some of them, but if you're in the mood for classics or something different, I have some horror movie recommendations, and maybe if you feel like watching along, that'd be nice. I'm probably gonna do a review of what I think about them, even though they're older movies. I like to review things. My channels are mostly review and stuff. And then I have these 2 series here that I'm gonna recommend to you. Actually 3, except one's on Netflix. So it's gonna be like, yeah, it's gonna be like that. Alright, so coming in at number 5 on this list, I'm gonna start with the books first, because that is what we're here for, right? So coming in at number 5 on my recommendations list for Halloween is never a new one for me, because I never really recommended it, and that is Nevermore by Kelly Craig? I don't know how to say her name right, I apologize. But, this one is kind of like, I feel it's really different. It's got the Edgar Allan Poe vibe because they're working on a Edgar Allan Poe project for school. The head cheerleader is forced to work with the gothic kid, and at first she doesn't like him, but as we go along, he gets creepier and creepier, and it really has Edgar Allan Poe vibe to it. I kind of would recommend it for an Edgar Allan Poe retelling of The Raven, I guess it is. It's exactly what it is. But, yeah, I would recommend this book because I haven't seen this circling around BookTube a lot. So, different recommendation. I'm trying to do where I recommend different books for people. So, coming in at number 4 is a book that I openly recommend to people on a daily basis on my videos. It's just that it's by an indie author. She's not really well known, and the story is crazy, y'all. So, next up we have Demon Kiss by H.M. Ward, and it's one of my favorite series besides Vampire Academy. And a book is good whenever me, who is so obsessed with Vampire Academy, is just like, oh my god, I love this just as much. This one almost came close to being Vampire Academy, and that, in my mind, is pretty good. But Demon Kiss centers around the story of Ivy. Ivy met this boy named Jake, I think it was, and she really wanted him to kiss her as her first kiss, the whole first kiss love type thing. Well, it turns out Ivy, it's not really a spoiler because it tells you on the back of the story, but it turns out that Ivy is really an angel and Jake is actually a demon. Jake is one of those demons that was sent to take her angel side away from her. She ends up getting her soul sucked out, and turns out she lives, but there is one bad thing about it. She is actually transformed into a half angel, half demon, and she is actually in the center of this really twisted prophecy Prophecy. And I love Ivy and Colin in this. They're my favorite couple. One of my favorite couples besides Romitri. So I would recommend this book because it's got this dark, twisted edge to a love story to it. And it's really good. And some parts were just like, woo, that was fucking crazy. So this series, definitely recommended. If you haven't picked it up, I would suggest it. Highly recommend. So next one is more like a psychological thriller to me. So coming on at number 3 is The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hawkins. Michelle Hawkins. Sorry, one more. So next we have The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hawkins. The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer is actually hard to explain what it's actually about because I am in the 3rd book and I still really don't know what it's about. It's about this girl, Mara. She's either crazy or she has really fucked up supernatural powers We have no idea what it is. So I think the best part about why this is a Halloween recommendation activity, wherever it's all like, okay, is this really happening, or if it's just in our minds, you know? So give me that really haunting feel, like, is this girl actually possessing these supernatural powers, or is it just the inside of her mind, because she's been diagnosed with schizophrenia? So it's like, is it just her paranoid schizophrenia? Is she crazy? Or is she really not crazy and she really has these powers that she claims she does? So psychological thriller right there. So coming in number 2 is actually a really big throwback. I always recommend these fairy tales to everyone. So coming in at number 2 is the Ultimate Grimm's Brothers Fairy Tales collection. I love this book so much. It's got so many short stories, so if you're not in the mood to read like a huge book, you could read some short stories, and they're really awesome, and I love them so much. Like, if you really want to know what story is really behind Sleeping Beauty or The Little Mermaid or the original tales of this, well, it's all in here. So Snow White, really fucked up. Also Sleeping Beauty, also really fucked up. So it's kind of like more whenever me and my sister were watching Into the Woods, and she's like, I don't like this, we're ruining Disney for me. And I'm like, Stenny, that's not really ruining Disney because Grimm's Brothers had it first, and it's like spinning off on the Grimm's Brothers fairy tales. So if you haven't read Grimm's Brothers Fairy Tales and you want to watch Into the Woods, I would suggest reading this first so that you don't think they're actually fucking up any of the storylines, because they're actually not. So Grimm's Brothers number 2, and coming in number 1 is a major throwback to my childhood. I will always recommend this offer to anyone. My number 1 recommendation is anything by R.L. Stine. I have one of his novels, Dangerous Girls, here, about 2 sisters who turn into vampires, not magically. I haven't read it in a while. I should give this a reread. But 2 sisters turn into vampires, and I liked this one. I also like the Fear Street novels, and of course, throwing back to my childhood with Goosebumps. I mean, with good horror recommendations, you can't go wrong with R.L. Stine. So now that Top 5 Wednesday is over and done with, my costume is actually Bubbles for Halloween, but I actually am gonna have a costume reveal later this week, so you guys can see it. Yay, costume reveal. But, okay, so moving on with the whole Halloween theme, we have the whole recommended watching for Halloween stuff. I thought it would just be easier, to do it in one video. It might be a long video, but my videos are usually long. So what I'm watching this Halloween season is I got Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2, so I was excited about that. I have a movie I actually seen and really liked, and that was Unfriended. I know a lot of people have mixed reviews about this one, but I thought it was actually really pretty good. And then I have not really a horror, but like a horror comedy, they call it, that makes you laugh, and that is Jennifer's Body, the only one movie of Megan Fox I actually liked. Then I'm going to throw back to Nightmare on Elm Street, which is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. So, yeah, I love that one. And then next we have, not a horror movie per se, but it's more like if you really want to watch this for Halloween, I would recommend, and you really want to watch a Tim Burton movie for Halloween, I recommend Coraline. It's really cute, it's really fascinating, and the world is just awesome. Next up, I have like a 6-pack of Children of the Corn. I didn't even know they made this many Children of the Corns. And then next one we have is the one I just mentioned, and that's Paranormal Activity. Next one I have here is the original Friday the 13th and Friday the 13th Part 2. Next one I have here is the original Poltergeist. I have never really watched this before, so I'm excited about it. I've heard good reviews about it. Not really many good reviews about the next one, so that's that. And then I have a movie that is by Stephen King, King of Horror himself, and that's It by Stephen King. I didn't do any Stephen King novels in this one, mostly because I wanted to branch out of the fame of the Stephen Kings for this one, because I have a feeling like that's going to be in a lot of people's list. So, Stephen King, gotta give an honorable mention to Stephen King here. He is a pretty good horror writer, probably one of the best. So, Stephen King, you get a shout out because I have it, and I'm probably going to be watching it, even though it gave me nightmares when I was a kid. And then, last but not least, on the DVD thing, I have Wrong Turn Part 1 and Part 2, so hopefully that's good. And if you're not really in the mood to watch a movie, you're more in the mood for a TV series, I would recommend Goosebumps. Goosebumps is actually a TV series. I would recommend Grimm, because Grimm is actually very interesting. I would also recommend, for the perfect Halloween marathon, Vampire Diaries, because me and my best friend Troyan are marathoning these, pretty much. And if you're really, really in the mood for it, you can marathon Supernatural as well. Oh, sorry, babies. You can marathon Supernatural as well, which is one of my recommendations, as well as Vampire Diaries. Even though, 10 seasons Supernatural you might want to have started at the beginning of the month. But there you guys have it. Also, for a little announcement before I leave, I'm actually probably not going to do an October wrap-up because I've been so busy getting finished packing and other stuff that I really didn't have time to read. But I'm actually starting on a new book right now, and I was excited for it. So I'm starting on this beautiful book right here, which is Illuminae. If you haven't picked it up, I would suggest, if not to read it, even if it's the suckiest book in the world, just buy it for the cover art. I mean, it's really fascinating, and I skimmed through this book to see, the fascinating pictures, because I noticed there was some illustrations on it, and it was really cool. Like this one illustration, I'm just so obsessed with this book and how pretty it is on the inside. I didn't really read any of it while I was skimming through it, because I'm like, no, not gonna ruin the ending for myself like I always do. I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna not ruin the ending. But I did see the pictures, and I don't know if my light balance is messing up on that one, but I think that is really cool. Those are words on a page right there, and they're making up these two kissing, and it's really cool. I really love this book. The only thing I can say about this book that really annoys me is a dust jacket. Even though it's beautiful, it doesn't stay on nearly as well as it should. But in my Illuminae should be in my November wrap-up. I mean, look at this book. It's as big as my head. My head on this one. But Illuminae, it might look like a big book, but I'm just over here going like, huh. I really want to read it. So I'm excited. So, there you guys have it. That was my Top 5 Wednesday. Well, more of a Top 5 Wednesday / recommended horror film / what I'm watching for Halloween, ... Alright guys, that was it. I will see you probably in a couple days to reveal my Halloween costume to everyone. But have a nice Wednesday. I hope you guys are best. Bye!